My name is Roger Armstrong. I was born a psychic child in 1930. Protective intention attached. PIA, to prevent misuse. Hello, this is psychic training number 10. Being telepathic and exercising your psychic energy projection. If you want to be telepathic, the easiest way is to find an old grandfather or grandmother tree. You want one that's at least 150 years old, at least. And you and a friend, or you and your child, can sit with your backs up against the tree and open your mind as you would the square, but have your intention feeling the energy that's around the tree, that's at the tree and around the tree. That's your intention. Now, you want to be very polite in approaching the tree and very apologetic, because most trees don't think very much of people. Since we aren't telepathic, since most people aren't telepathic, they don't give us much of an intelligent factor. In fact, we're somewhere below mice. Well, actually, mice are pretty smart. I should go lower than that. Maybe snakes. But anyway, yeah, we're lower than a snake's belly as far as a tree is concerned. Now, the idea is when you open your mind and you have a gift for the tree. They like used coffee grounds, and you spread those on the outer edges of where the tree branches are, because that's where the new roots are. At the end of the branch, down in the ground, is where the new roots are. And so you feed the new roots. That's where you put your gift. And you bring in a little bit of water, add a little bit of sugar in, a little bit of sugar water, and just sprinkle it around. Coffee grounds, the old coffee grounds. And what the coffee grounds do, interestingly, and the trees like this, that's why they like the coffee grounds, is it acts as an aphrodisiac to worms. So you sprinkle it out near the ends of the roots, it attracts the worms, they multiply, they aerate the ground more, and give their food then, their waste, as they digest and go through the dirt, they provide nutrients for the new roots. You know, so it's a nice exchange of things. You ask the tree if they would consent to share energy with you, energy thoughts. Again, trees don't think words; they think pictures. You know. So you can say, "What does this?" You can picture, what does it feel like to have the wind blow through your leaves? You know, those kinds of questions. You know. Now, you will feel the tree's energy. That's obvious, because it's stronger than yours. That's why you pick an older tree. If you open your mind nicely, you will notice that off to the side, there's another energy. That's your friend or your child. So, if you go and reach out to them, and they're recognizing you as a different energy also, then you're able to establish telepathic contact with them. Now, if you're practiced and can open your mind and put a blanket over your conscious mind quickly, you can obtain the telepathic communication with your friend in a matter of 5 or 6 minutes. It's that simple. It's that simple. And only if you're doubting it, only if you're sitting on the grass around the trunk and you're getting wet, and you're having those distractions, then you're going to have problems. But if you can, again, detach yourself from your conscious and subconscious mind and open your energy up to all the other minds with focus and that intention to open your energy up and to sense the other energy, it'll be there. It'll be there. I have had several moms, again, I would tell this to, and because they had an older child that was having difficulty, and a little envious that everybody else could do it and they couldn't, and that they would go out and do that. And I would see them again, and they would say how great it was, how easy. And everybody was all excited that everybody could talk to everybody else. And that made a big difference. To practice your energy projection, pick an incident that you often have if you're in a metropolitan area. If you have a metropolitan area now, they all have, or even farms also have, a light that comes on at night, automatic. Now, that switch, that sensitive switch, is an ion beam. And is sensitive enough to deflect itself and shut itself off from sunlight, which is actually a relatively weak force considering that the sensor is less than a half an inch square. It's not getting much sunlight. But you've also noticed, as you've been walking down the street or driving down the street in those instances, that if you're in an emotional state of happiness or anger, the light will go off as you pass through it, underneath it. I have one couple that when they first fell in love, they'd go down the street and hand in hand, and they could knock out all the lights in 5 or 6 blocks. So you can focus then on one lamp and turn it off. Stop your energy, goes back on, turn it off, goes back on, turn it off, goes back on. See how far down the street you can focus. Now the further down the street, the tighter your beam has to be. Just like your garden hose. If you want it to go a long distance, you hold your hand over the nozzle and cause the pressure in the hose to build up so it'll spurt further. Okay, same with energy. We all follow those rules, it seems. That's a great thing to practice. If you want to carry it further, you have a friend that can do it too, like if you're a couple, take turns. See if you can shield the light from your friend's energy. So when they apply their energy, it doesn't happen. Then you take away your shield and the light goes on. The light goes off, and you try and keep the shield on when the light goes on. This is great practice, just for the idea of shielding and gathering of energy. Qigong, the martial art that is dominantly energy driven. And you gather energy, and you can throw the energy in terms of what they call psi balls, PSI ball. And that's one martial arts form that the Chinese government has outlawed because it's too effective. Interesting. Because again, if you can get that much energy, you can shield. And you can, like Nopper and his skin turning to steel, you can put up a shield that will reject bullets and shrapnel and stuff like that. And I cover that in one of my, I think that was 12, video number 12B in wasapsychicchild.com. And there's a link at the bottom of this page to go to there. Shielding's interesting thing. So I guess I'm looking at my list. Well, the only thing I have is a great way to practice your abilities for focusing is focus on your coffee, maintain its temperature of being warm, and stir your cream and sugar into it without using a spoon. I had a mom call me up, and she was all excited that her 12-year-old, while she was cooking breakfast, had warmed her coffee and was stirring it without a spoon. And he said, look, Ma, no hands. A version of the Dyke joke, you know, where the young man is look, hands, no Ma, you know, because she fell off the dike. Okay. This is Roger Armstrong, and I'm always interested in your comments.